Hey guys, my name is Tyler. The power of persuasion can prove to be valuable in more situations than just commercials and communication classes. All around you, every single day, attempts are made to influence others' beliefs, attitudes, intentions, motivations, and behaviors. The proper techniques for persuasion can benefit anyone from a marketing team at Apple to a teenage boy in his attempts to extend his curfew. The Monroe motivative sequence is an outline for persuasive documents that has proven to be successful for over 80 years. After studying the topic at the University of Kansas, followed by my own research, I will explain how to use the motivative sequence to successfully influence your audience's opinion. I'll start by giving a brief background on where this outline originated, break it down into its 5 major steps, and using some examples, we'll examine why the Monroe motivated sequence continues to persuade the audience today. We will start at the University of Purdue in the 1930s when Allen H. Monroe was hired in the field of liberal arts. At the time, no communication courses had been established at the university yet. The dean of the School of Engineering asked Monroe to set up a speech course to help supplement the technical aspect of their engineering degree. The university website credits Monroe with developing what is perhaps the largest communication course in the United States, Introduction to Public Speaking. It was during his time as a professor that Monroe developed his famous outline, which is still taught today. This outline was set up using the psychology of persuasion in order to develop speeches that would do more than just distribute information, but would also deliver results. The Monroe motivated sequence is broken up into 5 major steps, the first of those being to capture your audience's attention. This can begin with a vivid story, dramatic example, or an open-ended question, which will all engage your listeners. In this step, it is crucial to illustrate the importance of your topic by relating to the audience. This is where you make whoever you're trying to persuade realize that what you are saying pertains to them. An effective way of achieving this is by using insider language. These are phrases, places, or even slang words that are common amongst your target group, and when hearing you use them, they'll be more willing to listen to what you have to say. Using insider language early in your deliverance will help you develop credibility from the get-go. During your first step, you want to ease your audience into the topic, but you do not want to mention your motives or anything you intend to advocate. That will come later. Once you have the audience's attention, the second step is to establish a need. This is where you convince them that there is a problem. This set of statements must help them realize that what is happening right now is not good enough and it needs to change. Reaching your audience's emotion is an important and powerful tool used in the second step. Say you're trying to sell your new invention that folds clothes after they've come out of the wash. Your target customers are going to be mothers, most likely of a larger family. Now, moms are professional clothes folders, and because they've been doing it their whole lives, they may not see a problem with the chore. Before you even introduce your product, you need to make them realize that folding clothes is actually a serious issue. You could try, moms, while spending evenings folding laundry, you're actually neglecting your family during the small amount of time that everyone's finally home. See, people, especially mothers, endeavor to control time. Where and how you spend your time is crucial because time is non-refundable. By striking the emotion of guilt, you make them feel wrong about how they are currently spending their time, forcing them to recognize that something needs to change with the whole laundry folding situation. Fear is another powerful emotion that will help your audience recognize the need for change. People fear not having money, they fear being alone, they fear death. If I had been a more clever teenager, I would have approached my parents with some questions about the type of nursing home they wanted me to put them in when they grew old. The fear of me being in charge of their golden years would develop the need for them to start treating me more fairly. Then I'd bring up the fact that I wanted to stay out later on the weekends and give them a chance to make me happy. I feel that the second step of the motivated sequence is the most crucial and delicate of the 5. It doesn't matter how well you get your audience's attention or how great your proposal is if you never make them understand how much they actually need the change you are presenting. Let's take a look at an example of these 2 steps in one that I'm sure you're familiar with.
You want to keep warm when you're feeling chilled, but you don't want to raise your heating bill. Blankets are okay, but they can slip and slide. And when you need to reach for something, your hands are trapped inside.
The infamous Snuggie commercial starts off with a clever poem that establishes a need specifically for their product. The audience is already considering how rough life is with the traditional blanket before they introduce their solution. This leads us to the third step of Monroe's outline, which is satisfaction. This is when you solve the problem you just established in step 2. You should begin the third step with a clear, straightforward sentence telling your audience how they can satisfy the need. Now, this is important. It is very crucial in order for the Monroe motivated sequence to be successful that this is the first time your audience hears what you are advocating. Because you have established a need already, you're not pushing them to accept your proposal, you're solving a problem of theirs. Like in the clothes folding example, if you introduce your product right off the bat, chances are mothers will reject the idea of wasting money on just another household gimmick. But by making them realize how unfair it is to rob their children of that mommy and me time, your product now offers them much more than folded laundry. In the satisfaction step, you want to go into depth about how your proposal will fulfill all of the audience's needs related to it. This is where you can go into detail and show your passion and beliefs of your product, cause, or idea and really sell it. If you feel like your audience would have strong counter-arguments to what you're saying, bring them up now. Answer their questions before they have the time to ask. Take a look at how many life problems the Snuggie commercial can solve in only a few seconds.
Now, there's the Snuggie, the blanket that has sleeves. The Snuggie keeps you totally warm and gives you the freedom to use your hands. So now, you can work the remote or read a book in total warmth and comfort. Use your laptop without being cold, or enjoy a snack while staying snugly warm. Snuggie is made of ultra-soft, thick, luxurious fleece with oversized sleeves, so you can move your arms and use your hands and still be wrapped in warmth. Super large, one size fits all, so you can stay warm from head to toe.
Once you've explained your solution, you then want to move on to the fourth step of the motivated sequence, which is visualization. The purpose of this step is to enhance the audience's desire for the solution. There are a couple successful ways to go about this. The first is a more positive route. This includes a descriptive explanation of how their life will improve by accepting what you're offering. For instance, I would paint a picture for mom and dad of the beautiful assisted living home on the cliffs of Malibu and explain how great I would make their retirement if my curfew was extended. This approach to visualization tends to be more practical. However, it doesn't always have the same emotional impact as taking a more negative route. This would be done by pointing out all of the bad repercussions that will follow if they don't take action. This is a more common in commercials or speeches asking for donations. After reaching to your audience for money for help for an animal shelter, you could help them visualize the importance of your donation by telling them how many puppies will die this week without any monetary help. Listing pros and cons during the visualization step will help listeners believe you because they will subconsciously be convincing themselves. The Snuggie commercial is going to stay positive, mostly using companionship to help you visualize how much better life will be after your purchase.
So you can snuggle your baby in your arms or keep your pet close at hand. Perfect for chilly outdoor evenings, staying cozy and warm at sporting events, and it's ideal for those drafty dorm rooms.
At this point in your motivated sequence, your audience is persuaded. They understand the significance of what you are talking about and why it pertains to them personally. Now you need to give them a call to action. This is your fifth and final step of Monroe's outline. This is the "what are you waiting for" conclusion. This part should be brief, straightforward, and tell your audience what steps they need to take to solve the issues you addressed. Make it clear that your audience needs to act as soon as possible. The final words in almost every infomercial: call now. Notice how the end of the Snuggie ad wraps up some visualizations and then gives clear dialogue as well as text on screen telling you how to get your blanket with sleeves right away.
Similar products sell for up to $60, but call now and you'll get the ultra soft, ultra warm Snuggie for only $14.95.
To order, call 1-800-819-0658. Remember, you'll get the Ultra Soft, Ultra Warm Snuggie and the Compact Press and Open Book Light for just $14.95 plus processing and handling. Call 1-800-819-0658.
The idea of selling a blanket with holes in it doesn't sound like something that would turn out to be so lucrative. Part of the reason the Snuggie was so successful was due to the way the commercial makes the product seem so practical and a necessity in everyone's life. The 5 steps to this motivated sequence should contain all of the information you need to get across, and you should feel complete with your message after you call to action. There are a few difficulties to watch out for when using Monroe's outline. The San Juan Unified School District points out a couple of these, the first being to avoid repetition. It can be easy to say the same thing when creating your visualization as you did when you proposed your solution. You may need to get creative or abstract to help your audience picture themselves in the situation you wish them to be in. You also want to be sure to hit every step and at the right time. Part of the reason this outline is so successful is the order which the information is presented. Finally, it is crucial to not rush the second step. Like I mentioned before, developing the need is the backbone to this persuasion process. The more you make your audience desire change, the easier it will be to get them to take action. Alan Monroe was a master at communication who studied the psychology of persuasion and combined the two to create this impressive, very successful outline used to basically get people to do what you want. His motivated sequence has proven to work for almost a century. It doesn't matter whether you're selling a product, recruiting new members, or convincing mom to serve dessert first. The Monroe motivated sequence has the ability, if done properly, to persuade even the most stubborn audience to take action. I hope this presentation has been informative, and I guarantee you that with some practice, you can benefit from the power of persuasion.